Welcome to the Massage Life podcast. I'm Jordan Pearson. I'm a chartered professional accountant, and I'm here with my wife Melissa, who's a registered massage therapist. And we actually have a guest on today, which is kind of weird. Chad Friel. Did I pronounce your last name right?
Correct. Yeah, Chad Friel.
So Chad's actually in our house right now. So we just finished recording a course on range of motion, which we'll have to come up with a sexier title for this for this course. But yeah, Chad, maybe you can start just by introducing yourself. Tell us a bit about who you are and kind of what you do. And
Sure. I'm a massage therapist as well, so thanks for having me on the podcast. I grew up in Saskatchewan, and I studied massage therapy in Saskatchewan, and then came to Alberta just after about 1 year of practicing in Regina. Moved out to Jasper, worked in Jasper for a year, and then to Lake Louise, got stuck in the mountains, working in spas a little bit. And then I moved to Canmore, and then I started teaching massage therapy, and that's what brought me to Calgary. So I've been teaching massage therapy and living in Calgary and practicing massage therapy for the past 4 years here in the city.
I love that.
Yeah.
So this course that we recorded today, like, what was your what was your experience? What did you think about how that went? Or
It was good. It was actually a lot smoother than I thought it would go. It didn't take as long. When you're putting things together, it always takes so much time to create something. You're writing out the script, and then you're practicing some videos, and then when you actually do it, I was a little bit nervous, and then Jordan was really helpful, and the
Jordan's
recording.
me. I'm Jordan. Yeah.
Jordan was really helpful with the video, and we had a teleprompter, and it just ran pretty smooth. So the hardest part is just trying to stay natural, essentially.
Yeah, it really is, right? Like, and it's tough when you have an audience. You know, someone's watching you, and you're reading a script, and so you kind of feel like you're being judged, right? And so the nice thing about when I record courses on my own, you know, it's just me in a room by myself, and I can just kind of self-direct. But when it's you and you have me and Melissa just judging everything you're saying.
Yeah,
right?
and we've never actually, none of us have actually met.
It's the
In
first
person,
time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I only spoke to Melissa just on I think it was just a Zoom chat. Yeah.
But I thought you did really well. You know, it helps that you know the subject material too, right? I'm an accountant. I was reading the transcript last night, and no clue what you're even talking about.
Yeah.
It's like, you want to talk about GST and income tax? Like, that's my jam. But range of motion, like passive range of motion, active range of motion, what are the other ones?
Agonist, antagonist.
Yeah. Isometrics, like end feel. Yeah, we were talking about that last night. Remember, I was like, what is end feel? Like, you keep using this term. I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, and I had to like walk him through it like a baby. I was like, okay, move your arm this way. And I was like,
It's
the feeling at
it's
the
the
end
feeling
of
at
the
the
range
end.
of motion.
Exactly, It's the feeling at the end of the range. Yeah.
And I think that was the only addition that I made last night. Because remember, because I was like, well, so what is end feel? Like, I don't think it had been spelled out in the course. And I understand, like, this course is for registered massage therapists, so they should know.
They should know.
Right.
But
I was just like, well, maybe we should just like add that sentence in there, like end feel, for the people that maybe have forgotten. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. Because I work with a lot of accountants that, you know, they should know their debits and credits and different things, and it's like, and they don't. Right.
And
So
it's interesting in school too, where everybody learns something a little bit different from what's being taught. The same thing is being taught by the teacher, the textbook, but everyone has like a slightly different perspective, or something stands out. Like if somebody's learning about muscle physiology and they learn about myosin, they might be like, oh, myosin's really interesting. Whereas another person might be like, whoa, I'm interested in like the tropomyosin, which is the other protein on the muscle fiber. So everybody picks different pieces. So there's probably a few massage therapists who forgot a little bit about end feel, or kind of maybe missed a day or two in school.
right.
They should all know it, but it may not be as high on their list. They might be thinking more about anatomy a little bit more, and just the structure as opposed to movement.
Right.
For sure. And that's true for every profession. I follow this one account on Instagram. I think it's like the only account that I'm like really interested in, but it's like it's about consulting and accountants, and there's just like memes that like accountants would appreciate. And one that I saw the other day is like, I don't know if I can even say this because you probably won't even think it's funny, but it's like really funny to me, just how when you're a consultant and you're an accountant, yeah, it's totally going to be bad. But it was somebody like Googling what is deferred tax. It's like, here we have all this experience. Like, I'm a chartered professional accountant. I should know what a deferred tax asset is because I learned that at one point. But it's like, I have no clue what that is, right?
I just Googling it?
Yeah, and so like...
Yeah, I'd be like a massage therapist Googling like, what is a muscle? Yeah. Or like, wait a second.
Yeah, like so much of my time as a CPA, an accountant, I'll be at work and I'll just... my boss will ask me something, and it's like, I have no idea what that is. And so I'll just Google it, right? And then right away you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember what that is. And it comes back to you. Yeah. But the same is true with massage therapists, right? Like, these things... It's in there somewhere in your brain, right? But you're going to forget. And so courses like this, I think this course is phenomenal. Like, yes, it's a refresher course, but it's good. These refresher courses are what we need, right? Because sometimes you just need a refresher. We don't need to like learn some new crazy modality of like reinventing the wheel. Like, we gotta use this new tool to like fix people. And it's like, no, sometimes we just need to learn the basics and just like be reminded of what the basics are
and know those things really well, like master those things before we move on to these big crazy things, and we lose sight of that sometimes.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And I think that was one of the was that kind of one of the things that motivated you to make this course, Chad? Like just
exactly. Yeah, it was just to like keep it simple. Kind of, I was teaching range of motion, and I found that sometimes we would kind of go through it a little quickly, like at a certain school. I've taught at a couple different schools, and it's like not a lot of time is spent on this unit when I'm like, well, this is important, right? We shouldn't be skipping over it or skimming over it, right? This is very practical. But then also making sure that you can make it practical, because it doesn't have to be that difficult. It doesn't have to be that time consuming as well, because it is a form of assessment, and massage therapists should be assessing, but we often get kind of thinking like we'll assess with our hands and just kind of feel it out, right? But that's why I like the range of motion, because instead of doing all these questions and specialized orthopedic tests, we can just say, well, let's just see what the motion or the end feel, like we were saying, is of the forearm flexors, essentially. Right. And you're like, oh, well, it is short, it is tight. Let's massage it, and then see what it's like after, right?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and I feel so often that massage therapists skip over that assessment section, and it's I think part of it, not to blame the clients, but the clients are really excited to jump on the table, right? Like they want their hands-on time, and so that assessment's so often skipped because we feel like we're almost ripping our clients off of their massage time, because now we're gonna have them stand here forever and do all these tests. And it's like, well, I feel bad for that. And so I love in this course how you're like, no, it doesn't have to take up half of their massage time. It can take as simple as 1 minute at the beginning. And the part that I really liked that you talked about was how it makes such an impact on the client's massage experience, right? Because sure, they can enjoy their hour on the table, but if they don't see the benefit or value or change that happened during that visit, then they're probably not going to come back, or they're just like, oh, I'll just go for that massage when I want to feel good and whatever. You can show them, hey, look at this range of motion was restricted, and look at it now, and show them that difference. That's like so impactful.
Totally.
So I really like that.
The example I often use, because it's so common, is lower back pain, right? Lower back pain, I think somewhere around like 70% of the population will suffer from lower back pain at one point in their life. And just because there's pain there doesn't mean it needs massage, right? Doesn't mean that your quadratus lumborum is hypertonic. It doesn't necessarily mean those erector spinae muscles need lots of massage. Yeah, they might, but the example I use is like, well, what if their hamstrings are really tight? If that client comes in and sees a massage therapist 5 or 6 or 7 times or 15 times and says, just work on my back, I work at a desk, like shoulders, lower back, that's all I want. You've done them a disservice by not checking their hamstrings, right? They might need to stretch their hamstrings more often. They might need some massage there. And I'm sure you would agree that hamstrings are one of the classic muscles that can cause or contribute to lower back pain, right? Hip mobility is super important for essentially sore backs, right? So yeah, massaging the hamstrings on that client, sure, they're like, well, it doesn't hurt there. There's no problem there. But then you treat it and then they move and they're like, oh, my back pain feels better, right? You still treat the back,
Right.
but
Right.
you treat the other muscles causing or contributing to the problem.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you noticed that sometimes too?
Yeah.
Just going being like, you know what? Let's work on your hip flexors.
Yeah.
Because so many people neglect the legs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They really do.
I do too. And like, you're a runner too.
Yeah.
I run.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'll just work on my shoulders. But then you get your legs worked on. You're like, whoa,
Yeah.
this is really sore and this feels good.
So
Yeah. I'm ticklish. Don't touch my legs.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Jordan
touch
doesn't like his legs
Yeah.
worked out.
I like that one example that you gave in the course, just talking about that old lady who came in and she had restricted range of motion in her. I don't know what I don't know the terms, right?
You can say
So,
shoulder.
like,
shoulder
it's okay.
flexion.
I'm like
Yeah,
holding
it's
up my
okay.
arm,
Yeah.
and but I liked how so often you do that initial assessment, but I liked how you talked about at the end of the treatment you should do that reassessment. Is what it's called, yeah, where you can go through that range of motion again, so that the person can actually see.
See
And I like
feel.
that see the progress. It's like, here, you had this restricted range of motion, we did all this work, and now look at your range of motion, it's gotten better. And we talk a lot about, we just recorded a course last week on building a home-based business, and you have to think about all the things that you can do to grow your business, and one of the biggest things is to provide a good treatment, right? Like give your clients a reason to come back to you. And if that reason is, hey, Chad's the best massage therapist because my range of motion went from here to there, right? It's gotten better. Yeah. And I think that's, like, at the end of the day, we want to be taken care of. We want a good massage, right? We don't just, yes, the hands-on time is important, but we want to be taken care of. And we want to be taken care of by someone who knows what they're doing, right? And if I come to you and it's like, hey, Chad genuinely cares because he's doing this, he's not taking up all the time doing this assessment, but he's taking time to, actually figure out what's wrong and help. Like, I think that's so key. And so, yeah, it can be one of the things that can actually help you to grow your business. And yeah,
I like that. I was just going to say, it's like, often massage therapists get into this kind of cookie cutter treatments, right? Where there's like, oh, I'm just going to do the same treatment every time. But it's like, yeah, you get into that rut when you don't do an assessment at the beginning. You don't actually figure out what's going on. So you're like, well, I don't really know what's going on, so I'll just do this general massage that I give everybody.
Right.
Like, you need to look at that person as an individual. When people are looked at as an individual, then they know they're being cared for, and you can tailor the treatment to what's actually going on.
right.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it changes too. Like, sometimes I'll have a client come in. I have a handful of clients like at the chiro clinic who do see me quite regularly, which is great. But sometimes they come in and they're like, my calf's kind of sore. And I was like, but I haven't really been working on your legs in the last 3 months. It's mostly been like the back, the shoulders, the neck. But then you get to kind of switch it up and kind of show them what else you can do too. And then I was going to say about changing that treatment, being like, you know what, we worked on your neck a lot last time. That seemed to help. But this time, looking at your posture, and because we've already spent 3 or 4 treatments on the neck, let's try working on the pecs and open up the shoulder joint a little more, and that might help with the neck tension, right?
Right.
Do you do that sometimes too with your client? Just kind of, not like detective work, but just sort of, it's almost trial and error, right?
Yeah, totally.
You can't just keep doing the same thing and expect it to, that's the definition of insanity, right?
Yeah.
Expecting different results.
Yeah, totally. Well, I like what you just said as far as kind of easing them into trying different things, because sometimes clients come in and they just want, going back to the back pain person, and they just want their back massage. That's what they want. And so I like that, what you said of maybe you do that for a few times and then say, hey, you know what else might help? And give them some reasons for it. And test the range of motion, show them, hey, look, it does look restricted here. Let's try this.
Yeah.
And kind of easing them into it. Because sometimes we get excited, say someone takes this course on range of motion and they're like, yeah, I'm going to start assessing everything, and I'm going to start fixing people, and I'm going to go in and, maybe if they're complaining about their shoulder, I'm going to go in and fix their wrist because their wrist is showing decreased range of motion.
Yeah.
And you're all of a sudden now implementing your thoughts and ideas onto the client and pushing them in a direction that maybe they don't want. So we still have to remember, it's the client's treatment, it's their hour, it's their time.
Totally, yeah.
But I like what you said about kind of just guiding them and showing them,
Yeah.
and kind of asking consent and permission to go down this other road too. Hey, let's look at this as well. This could help you, and showing them the reasons why it might help.
it's kind of like showing them what they need, but also giving them what they want, right?
Yeah.
You give them what they want, because massage is super beneficial. It is relaxing. It feels nice to just sometimes get a scalp massage. I totally get that.
Yeah.
But then it's like, hey, you know what? We can work on your SCM muscles, and that's also going to help with your headaches as opposed to just the back and the shoulders, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
You guys are huge nerds.
What, just throw around term.
Thank
SEM,
you.
do you know where the SEM is? Jordan, where do you
No.
think the SEM is? Point.
Where do I think it is?
Yeah.
The upper half.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah?
I only said that because you said, oh, it could help with your headaches. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
This one's SEM. Sternocleidomastoid.
Yeah, I knew that.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is fun.
Yeah, it's
Love
been a
it.
fun day. Hopefully it's been a fun day for you, Chad. You know, I really appreciate you coming.
Yeah, it's been great. I
Yeah,
really,
that's awesome.
this.
yeah, you guys appreciate it. I appreciate it. It was nice to finally meet you
win-win.
guys.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, you're kind of reaping the benefits that, you know, we've made a lot of mistakes in the past, just like recording courses, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think, you know, I think today went really well because we've been down that road,
Yeah.
right? We've made those mistakes, right? And so we've learned from that, and we kind of have a handle on how to do things, and so, yeah, it was fun. Do you want to ask him? I kind of want to ask. So we
Questions are always great.
yeah. So we
Yeah.
recorded just kind of an episode on embarrassing moments, and so do you have any any embarrassing? And it's okay if you don't, right? But any embarrassing moments or just like funny experiences that you've had as a massage therapist, like anything that you want to share without like making yourself look too bad.
Sure. So the listeners don't know either of these, but Melissa and Jordan, I heard one of them, but I thought of another one too. So one's more of a funny one. It wasn't that embarrassing, but I was working at the Jasper Park Lodge in Jasper, Alberta, at the spa, and it's like really fancy, expensive sheets and everything. So the lights are dimmed, and I think this was actually a couples massage. So I had the leg undraped. I had moved the blanket, and they use these really like nice duvets. They're not feather duvets, but you're at the Fairmont. People pay a lot for the massage. So I'm moving the duvet out of the way, and then I looked down at the foot. I started to grab the sheet to undrape the back of the leg, and then as I started moving the sheet, I glanced kind of up the leg, and then when I looked at the thigh, I jumped and saw this like dark black spider with like legs. And like it literally scared me.
Did you yelp? Were you like,
No, like I literally like I was trying to be slow and gentle with my hands, and then I just jumped off like the body.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think my friend may have seen and just like, what are the other massage therapist? And then I realized it was literally just a piece of like fabric, like lint.
yeah.
It was nothing. So I just pulled it up. But I couldn't imagine seeing a spider come out of someone's leg like when you're massaging them.
Happened.
Maybe.
I've had spiders on the floor before. Especially doing mobile, I like set up in people's basements and stuff, and yeah, there'll be spiders that crawl on the ground, and I'm like, try not to like, say anything, and try not to step on it. It's bad.
I would have yelped like a little girl.
Oh,
for sure.
I have to kill all the spiders
I had
in
to
our
bite
house.
my
Jordan's like
tongue.
such a baby.
Yeah. Melissa kills all the spiders in our home. Well, you're so crazy with spiders. Like Melissa and I, we have a good relationship, but you are always picking up spiders outside with the kids.
Because I'm trying to show the kids the daddy long legs.
That is disgusting.
Yeah,
They're helpful.
The other day I
They
was
kill
trying to...
other bugs
Yeah,
and
exactly. Those are
mosquitoes
supposed
and
to be
Yeah,
stuff.
but do you have to pick it up?
Well, I was trying to... We have two little boys, and I'm trying to show them. And yeah, I had a daddy long legs on my hand the other day, just outside. And Jordan comes out to like leave to go to work or something, and he just sees this spider on my hand, and Jordan's like, "Nope, I'm done," and goes back inside, closes the door.
I'm out.
He said, "I'm out."
It's like, I'm out. You're crazy.
That's so good.
That's the only thing I don't like about you.
Well, if that's the only thing, then I guess we're doing okay.
We're doing all right. Okay, so you said you had two. What's the other one?
So the other one, it was. I wouldn't say it was embarrassing. It was interesting or cute, you could say, but
Cute.
you could say it was cute. Yeah, same place actually in Jasper. I was doing a massage for someone who had never had a massage. I think it was her birthday. She was there for her family, and it was like her 85th birthday.
Oh wow!
And she had like never had a massage.
And she died on your table. That would happen.
No, she didn't die, but
Could you imagine?
usually, yeah,
Sorry.
I don't. Let's hope not. I hope not.
I'm sure it's happened before.
But so what
Yeah,
happened?
sorry to derail your story.
Yeah.
Okay.
So usually when someone's never had a massage, I usually kind of do like a general relaxation, full body. I was like, you may as well experience like having your legs worked on, your back, your neck, right? I don't know if you do the same.
Yeah, usually, yeah.
The odd time you might be like, okay, just the back, kind of general, nothing. You don't want to surprise them. You want to make sure they're not in pain or anything, nothing too deep. But anyways, when I got to her arms, I started working on her forearms and her hands. And you might know if you go along the forearms, the hands start to flex, or the fingers flex when you're pressing on the tendons. And just the position I was in, she kind of started grabbing my arm. So her hands, and then it was almost like she was trying to hold my hand. And then I felt I was just like, well, I shouldn't be holding this 85-year-old's hand, but she just seemed content and happy. So that one was like semi-embarrassing, and then I just finished massaging her forearm, and then we were done. But she was like, thank you for the massage. Like, have a great day. Yeah.
The massage and the hand holding.
You're just like, it just turns into this like awkward hand holding. Like, well, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Great.
That's
But
great.
I mean, that human contact is beneficial too, right?
Right,
Like,
it's so true.
Yeah.
That's an effect.
Yeah.
Right. That's awesome.
Good times.
Okay. Anything else you want to say?
No, I think that was it for today. Yeah, thank you so much, Chad. This was so fun.
Thank you. Yeah, this is my first podcast. So
Yeah.
maybe there'll be another one. Yeah.
Okay. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.